Yeah, today was a bit chilly, especially compared to yesterday. Yesterday was like the prime fall day.
Today, a little bit less
yeah.
so. It was a little cold, it was a little bit windy earlier, certainly a lot cloudier. I would say a bit dreary, but when it gets cloudier like that, it usually means there's some rain on the way, but I feel like I have a little bit of bad news in that department because we're not going to get nearly as much rain as we would need. In fact, almost none at all. But this is what we're going to expect going into the week ahead. So first, we'll be talking about that nor'easter. It's going to clip areas of southwestern Maine and really not much, nowhere else across the state. We're going to be looking at below average temperatures across the week as well, and it's also going to be pretty unsettled and therefore cloudier during the 7-day stretch. So this is what we're looking at right now. This is the satellite and radar, and we are right at the northern edge of this nor'easter. So across the state, we're seeing a good bit of cloud cover with the exception of areas up in the county. And then if you look just to our south in areas of southern New Hampshire, that's when we're starting to see a little bit of the shower activity. But the shower activity is not going to get that much farther north. And in fact, much of the state will end up remaining dry throughout the duration of this system. I did want to mention, though, we do have a high surf advisory in effect for the entire coastline here, issued by the National Weather Service for some high waves. Could see some localized beach erosion as well as rough surf and rip currents. So overnight tonight, those showers will start to get a little bit closer, starting to move into areas of southern York County just after midnight. And then yesterday I showed you this model, and it was one of the wetter solutions. But as you can see, it's really backed off and is much more drier like its other model counterparts. So areas of southern York County and areas of southern New Hampshire are going to have the best chance of getting some precipitation, but really it's not really that much at all. On and off showers during the day on Monday, but it's going to be a bit windy and pretty cloudy for much of the state. Honestly, though, areas of northern and eastern Maine end up with a half-decent day with a good bit of sunshine, too. As we get into the very early morning hours of Tuesday, might be an isolated shower hanging around in the western half of the state, but again, not much rainfall overall. And then we'll start to clear out in the afternoon, but things are going to get much windier as we get into the second half of the week. I'll talk more about that in a second, but the rainfall amounts are pretty low. Only about half an inch perhaps in Portsmouth, and only about a tenth of an inch in an area like Portland or Freiburg. The rest of the state seeing maybe a trace of precipitation, but likely no precipitation at all as far north and east you go. So it is also, I said, it's going to be a little bit windy. So I wouldn't say these are damaging wind gusts. It'll certainly be windiest right along the immediate coastline as we get into tomorrow afternoon. This might cause perhaps a slight power outage, but not really expecting too many issues there. It will be actually significantly more windy once this system exits our region, especially Wednesday afternoon, winds out of the northwest, and very high northerly winds on Thursday afternoon, gusting to almost 40 miles an hour in some spots. Marine forecast sees 4 to 7 feet. We have that gale warning in effect starting at 8 p.m. tonight. So in terms of our 7-day forecast, again, we just went through the hour by hour, not really seeing that much shower activity. But again, if you're in southwestern Maine, you'll have on and off showers throughout the day. Tomorrow, the rest of the state will be seeing partly to mostly cloudy skies. It'll also be a bit cool. High temperatures will only be in the 50s for a lot of us. And then a stray shower possible early in the morning on Tuesday before we'll have some clearing, pretty slow clearing of the cloud cover in the afternoon. And then we get a little bit more sunshine coming in for the second half of the week, but it remains a bit unsettled. So temperatures will be below average, Sam. Chance of an isolated shower on Thursday and very windy both Wednesday and Thursday especially.
All right, well, this is the reality check. We've had summer-like weather for a lot of October so far, so
we're back into more October and November weather.
Yeah, thank you, Dana.